The homebuilder ETF, one of them, the XHB, is on a tear, hitting its highest levels in nearly 2 years. But new home sales fell just a touch last month. Is the housing run done? Let's get now to Diana Olick, who's got more on these numbers. Diana.
Brian, it is absolutely not done. Look, new home sales did fall in October compared with September, but September's number was revised so much higher that the monthly drop really doesn't mean much. The better comparison is that October sales were up a whopping 32% versus October of last year. Now, that is why we're seeing the big builder stocks pop today. Names like D.R. Horton, Lennar, KB Home, Meritage, and Pulte, they were already up dramatically year to date, but it looks like there is still room to grow. Builder sales have been buoyed this year by lower mortgage rates and a shortage of existing homes for sale. Now, price gains for those existing homes are heating up again, according to Case-Shiller. So if the cost difference between comparable new and existing homes starts to shrink, well, new homes become more attractive. Now, for new homes, the median price was down 3.5% annually in October, as demand is clearly on the lower end of the market. Builders are trying to pivot to meet that demand, but they're still up against much higher costs for land, labor, and regulatory compliance. They're still not even back to normal historical levels of production, despite this much higher demand. Brian?
You know, prices, though, Diana, they keep going up. You look at the historical data, I think we're up $100,000 per home going back just about 8 or 9 years. When you talk to these home builders, are they just growing more confident that they can, despite the trends of what millennials apparently want to do, they can just keep building bigger and more expensive homes?
No, they're actually building smaller homes, believe it or not. The average size of a home is shrinking of newly built homes, and that's because the builders are trying to pivot to this entry-level demand. When we see these prices come down year over year, it's not so much that the builders are lowering the price on a specific type of home, but that the mix shift of that median is moving toward that entry level. You're seeing much stronger sales from that entry-level market. The problem is builders want to build more into that because they know they can sell more homes. But again, they have so much cost ahead of them with construction, labor, land, et cetera. They just can't do it.
So I looked at the average price and I saw that went up, but I guess that's misleading data because obviously
that's
there's
average.
Probably
Average versus
90% are on the low end, and then you got some Toll Brothers homes for $800,000 that sort of skew that.
Right, and that is a very small percentage of the market. When you look at that 750,000 plus, it's barely 12% of the market. Most of those homes are in the sort of 200,000 to 400,000 range. That's what's selling. Interesting
stuff. All right, Diana Olick in Washington, D.C. Diana, thank you very much. We'll let you get out of the cold. Let's play a game.
Oh, right.
We love. You ready to play a game?
I'm curious what game you're going to play.
So it is name that stock. What is the best performing home?
How many notes? Remember that show? Name that tune. That was a
What is
great
the best
show.
performing home builder stock over the last 12 months?
Pulte.
Nope. And it's a name you probably don't know.
Restoration Hardware.
I want you to think Buckeyes.
Ohio State.
It's based,
the Ohio State.
Where are they? Columbus. MI Homes, MHO in Columbus, Ohio.
You shouldn't do this if we don't know the answers.
It makes us like a bunch of Power Lunch the other day. I actually heard this one already.
Playing trivia, the only guy
Thanks for watching, by the way.
I did. I heard that.
You're the only one I like.
Here's a couple things about today's home sales numbers. First of all, this is the third month in a row where we've had over 700,000 print on new home sales, despite the fact that the pricing dynamics are where they are. First time since mid-2007. So, as Diana talked about, look, the median home price is actually down about 3.5% year over year, which tells you the unaffordable housing dynamic is something that they are slowly working to get to. But right now, lower interest rates and the consumer having a job is making this an incredible environment for housing. And I think it will continue.
Yeah, we sold, 617,000 November last year, 733,000 this year.
No, the trend is
housing,
very strong.
They may have dropped, Guy, from September to October, but let's be clear.
The trend has been
very strong.
Very favorable. And the president, another feather in the administration's cap. That's great. Another side, I mentioned it earlier, Restoration Hardware was an $85 stock in May. It's north of 200 now, 32% short interest. Warren Buffett decides, or some of his minions decide, they're going to take a stake. Reasonable valuation. Report on December 4th. That's a name I think you want to continue to own in this environment. That's a retailer that's done it right. And I got a bunch of friends here, apparently, that are going to dinner tonight at that Restoration Hardware down in that Fugazi place. What's that called? That downtown.
It's called the
Meat Pack, West Village.
And the Fort Charles Prime Rib guys have the restaurant on the roof there.
Do they really?
Yeah,
sure. But they're still sending the 17 pounds of catalogs every every year.
Yeah, that is.
You own any of these names?
I don't. I mean, for me, Home Depot is, a combination of all of that. That's great. That's going on in the housing space, but also for consumers.
Yes.
And for, renovations.
So many of these names have done great. Beezer Homes, not Weezer, great band. Beezer Homes.